Hello students, today's lecture is about anatomical position, anatomical terms and anatomical planes. This lecture is for all the medical, dental and paramedical students. It's for the beginners and is known as the day 1 lesson of anatomy. You cannot study anatomy without these basics. Anatomy is study of structure of human body in its own terms and in its own language. The question is how anatomy is written, how anatomy is spoken, how it is decided this is front side, this is back side, and this is the superior aspect. How anatomy is studied in all over the world will be uniform. The answer is anatomical position. This is law of the anatomy. Anatomical position is the law of anatomy. What is anatomical position? The anatomical position is a person standing erect, eyes looking at horizon, palm facing forward and feet together. Why anatomical position? This posture will decide what's the front side, what's the back side, what's the internal aspect and what's the external aspect. And in this way, anatomy will be spoken, will be studied all over the world in one way. In the beginning, you will frequently confuse about superior, inferior, anterior and posterior because you are thinking in a wrong posture. You may label a structure superior while it's actually the anterior structure. Actually, it's on the front side. So always remember the law and visualize anatomy in anatomical position first and then start studying the anatomy.
Now I will describe the anatomical terms. Always remember, first make the anatomical position, then talk about the anatomical terms. Medial and lateral. This is the midline and this is the outer line. So we take two lines, a midline and an outer line. This is also the outer line. This is the midline. So always remember, any structure close to the midline will be labeled as the medial structure and close to outer line will be labeled as the lateral structure. But the important thing is that these terms are the reference terms. What is meant by reference terms? It means that we have to quote a reference for describing a structure medial or a lateral. I will now demonstrate. Look, this is point A, this is point B and this is point C, this is the point D. If we say that A is a medial structure, we can take the reference of B and we will say A is medial to B. If we want to label B a medial structure, again we need a reference. We will take the reference of C structure and we will say that B is medial to C. Likewise, if we want to label the structure D as lateral structure, we have to give a reference. The reference can be C structure. We say that D is lateral to C. Likewise, if we want to say that C is lateral structure, we will quote the reference of the B point and we will say that C is lateral to B. And if we want to label B a lateral structure, we have also labeled the B a medial structure. It was medial to A. But if we want to label B a lateral structure, we will say that it's lateral to C. So these are relative terms. Any structure is never medial absolutely or never lateral absolutely. But we can have a medial most structure in the midline and we can have a lateral most structure at the external surface. In the midline, we can have a medial most structure. These structures are labeled as the median structures. Now I will talk about the superior and inferior. Superior and inferior. The superior structures are also labeled as the cranial structures towards head side, and the inferior structures are also labeled as the caudal structures towards the tail side. So again we will take two lines, a superior line and an inferior line. Any structure that is towards superior line will be superior structure. Any structure that is towards inferior line will be labeled as the inferior structure. But again remember, these are the relative terms. What is meant by relative terms? We have to quote a reference for any structure to be labeled as superior or inferior. Again I will label four structures. This is structure A, this is structure B, this is structure C and this is structure D. For example, if we want to label A as a superior structure, we have to quote a reference. We can quote the reference of B. We will say that A is superior to B. If we want to label B structure superior, we have to quote a reference and the reference can be C structure. B is superior to C. If we want to label C structure as a superior structure, we have to quote a reference and the reference can be D structure. Now if we want to label D an inferior structure, we have to quote a reference and the reference can be C structure. Likewise, if we want to label C structure the inferior structure, we have to quote the reference and the reference can be B. We will say that C is inferior to B. So these are the reference terms which always need a reference that is quoted with the letter to, superior to, inferior to, medial to. So this is the anatomical language, always remember. Now I will talk about the anterior and the posterior structures. For this we need two lines, a front line for labeling a structure anterior and a back line for labeling a sector posterior. So a structure close to the anterior line, front line, will be labeled as the anterior structure, and a structure close to the posterior line will be labeled as the posterior structure. But always remember, these are the reference terms described in the anatomical position. What is meant by reference terms, I will again explain. We take 4 spots. If we want to label A is anterior structure, we have to quote a reference. The reference can be B, and we will say that A is anterior to B. If we want to label the C structure an anterior structure, we'll say that C is anterior to D. Now if we want to label D structure a posterior structure, we'll give the reference of the C and we'll say that D is posterior to C. If we want to label C structure a posterior structure, we'll give reference of B and we'll say that C is posterior to B. B can be a posterior structure also. We have to give a reference simply. We'll quote that B is posterior to A structure. So this is about the anterior and the posterior terms. Now I'll talk about the proximal and the distal terms. Proximal and distal doesn't follow the anatomical position. It can be described in any position. Always remember, it just follows one rule, that where is the origin of the structure. If this is upper limb, this is the origin. Any structure close to the origin will be labeled as posterior, and any structure away from origin will be labeled as the distal structure. Again, these are the reference terms. Say for example, this is the origin. We will take 3 points. If you say that C is a distal structure away from the origin, you have to quote a reference. You can quote the reference of the B. You will say that C is distal to B. If you want to label B structure a distal structure, you need a reference. The reference can be A structure and you will say that B is distal to A. Likewise, for labeling structure proximal, you need a reference. If you want to say that A is a proximal sector, you will give the reference of the B structure and you will say that A is proximal to B. If you want to label B structure a proximal structure, you will give the reference of C structure and you will say that B is proximal to C. So don't forget to quote the reference and the word to, proximal to and distal to. Now I will explain the term radial and an ulnar. When a structure is labeled as radial structure and when a structure is labeled as the ulnar structure. This term is used in the forearm region because in the forearm region we have got 2 bones. One lateral bone, that is the radial bone, and one medial bone, that is the ulnar bone. So it is very simple. Any structure that is lateral has got a second name of the radial structure, and any structure that is medial has got a second name of the ulnar structure. Radial structures are the lateral ones and ulnar structures are the medial ones. The cross-sectional anatomy or two-dimensional anatomy is cutting the body into different planes. There are 3 basic planes and 1 atypical plane. The first basic plane is the sagittal plane. This is the sagittal plane which we draw in the midline. We divide the body into right and the left halves. Any other line that is parallel to this line will also be the sagittal plane. A limb can be cut like this longitudinally. This is the sagittal plane. We divide the body into right and the left halves. Now the second plane. The second plane is transverse plane. This transverse plane divides the body into superior and inferior halves. Always remember, we can draw many lines parallel to this transverse line. All these are transverse plane. If it is in the center, it will divide the body into equal superior and inferior halves. If it's not in the center, it will divide body into unequal superior and inferior halves. Now the coronal plane. In the side view of the anatomical position, we can define the coronal plane. The coronal plane divides the body like this into interior, into front and back halves. So a plane dividing the body into front and back halves is the coronal plane. Any other line that is parallel to this plane will also be the coronal plane.
There are three basic planes. We can divide the body into right and left halves. We can divide the body into front and back halves, or we can divide the body into superior and inferior halves. So I will explain further. Number one, the sagittal cut section. We take a line in the midline. This midline will divide the body into equal right and left halves. Any other line that is parallel to this line, will also divide body into right and left halves, but that division will be unequal. So this is unequal division of the right and left half. Any line parallel to that midline. This is the midline. This is mid-sagittal section, mid-sagittal plane that divide the body into equal right and left halves. Any other line that is parallel to this line will divide the body into right and left half, but unequal. Now the second plane. The second plane that divide the body into front and back halves. If you draw a line here, we'll say that this line is going to cut the body into front and back halves. This plane is known as the coronal plane. Any other line parallel to this line will also divide the body into front and back halves, but unequal. So always remember, this is midline. This line in the center will divide the body into equal front and back halves, but this line that is parallel to the center line will divide the body into front and back halves, but unequal. The third plane is the transverse plane. It divides the body into superior and the inferior halves. So if we take a line here, we will say that this line has divided the body into superior and inferior halves. So always remember, the transverse plane at any level will cut the body into superior and inferior halves. This is the transverse plane. We have cut the body into the superior and inferior halves. But the most important point is that all these three planes cut the body into two-dimensional planes. These are the two-dimensional planes. In the two-dimensional plane, one plane will be missing. What is meant by one plane will be missing, I will explain now. Look at here, a transverse line divides the body like this. We have divided the body into a transverse section, and now we will explain the anatomy of this part. We can only comment on front or back, midline or lateral, meaning that we can only comment on front or back, medial structures and the lateral structure. We cannot comment on superior and inferior because it's a single level. In a single level, how can we comment that this is superior and inferior? We cannot look at superior or inferior. What we are looking at, we can comment only front and back, midline and the lateral structure. So in the transverse plane, the missing plane is superior and inferior. Now I will explain the sagittal plane. As I already described, that we have to divide the body into right and left halves by midline. So if we draw a midline here, we draw a midline and we divide the body into right and left halves like this. We have divided the body into right and left halves on medial and lateral. This is one level. This is one single level. We have to remember that we cannot comment on medial and lateral. We can only comment on the superior, inferior and the anterior, posterior. We can comment on the superior, inferior and the anterior, posterior sides. One plane is missing. That's why this is two-dimensional plane. This is the 3D anatomical model of the human male genital system. Here we can see that we can comment on the inferior and superior, we can comment on front and back, we can comment on midline and the lateral structure, because this is three-dimensional model. But when we will cut it into a plane, that is the sagittal plane, will only describe two-dimensional anatomy. So the sagittal plane is that divides the body into, or an organ into, right and left halves. So if we divide this organ here, we'll get the sagittal cut section. Let me show you. Like this. So this is the sagittal cut section. In cut section, we will have one plane missing. We can comment on inferior structure, we can comment on superior structure, we can comment on anterior structure, we can comment on posterior structure. We cannot comment on medial or lateral structure because again this is single level cut section, single level plane. This is the transverse cut section of the body at the abdominal level, dividing the body into superior and inferior half. This is the transverse cut section. But after getting the cut section, this is now 2D anatomy. We can comment on two dimensions. The two dimensions are this is vertebra, this is posterior side and this is anterior side. We can comment on a structure anterior or a structure posterior. This is the midline or the medial structure and these are the lateral structure. So we can comment on medial and lateral structure. We cannot comment on superior or inferior structures. This is one single level transverse plane that divide the body into superior and inferior halves. This is the anatomical model of foot and leg. Here we can see that this is three-dimensional. We can comment on the superior, inferior. We can comment on the anterior and posterior side. We can comment on the medial and the lateral sides. So this is three-dimensional anatomical model. But look at here. What is this? This is the cut section and it is in the transverse plane. So this cut section will tell us about the two-dimensional anatomy. One plane will be missing. We can comment on front side, we can comment on back side, we can comment on lateral aspect and we can comment on the medial aspect. How can we tell that this structure is superior or inferior? Because we don't have the reference. This is single level. So this is two-dimensional anatomy or cross-sectional anatomy. One plane will be missing. And in the transverse plane, the missing plane is superior and inferior. This is 3D anatomical model of the human heart. Almost in this position, heart is placed inside the body. If you cut the heart in this plane, this is the sagittal plane. If you cut the heart in this plane, this is the transverse plane. And if you cut heart here, this will be the coronal plane. But in this anatomical model, it has been cut not in the sagittal plane, not in the transverse plane, and not in the coronal plane. Look at here. This cut section is oblique cut section, which doesn't follow the rule. As I have told you, when a cut section is not sagittal, not coronal, not transverse, then it will be oblique. In an oblique cut section, we can comment on the lateral and medial side, we can comment on the front and back side, and we can comment on the superior and inferior side. Partially, we can explain all the plane, but partially. This is 3D anatomical model. As you can see, this is three-dimensional and we can comment on superior and inferior structures. We can comment on medial and lateral structures. We can comment on anterior and posterior structure. So in a 3D diagram, we will comment on three directions. Now the second example. Second example is transverse plane. We divide the body into superior and inferior halves. Look at here. This is the transverse cut section. We can comment on front, we can comment on back, we can comment on medial structures and we can comment on lateral structure. The missing plane. How can we tell what is superior to this and what is inferior to this? This is one level. So superior and inferior plane will be missing in the transverse cut sections. Now the coronal plane. These are lungs and these have been cut in a coronal plane. In this direction, these lungs have been cut. So we'll get this two-dimensional picture of the lungs. As you can clearly see, we can comment on superior, we can comment on inferior, we can comment on medial aspects and we can comment on lateral aspect. How can we tell what is posterior to this diagram and what is anterior to this level? We cannot tell. So in the coronal plane, posterior and anterior are missing. So this is the coronal plane. Now the fourth plane, that is atypical, that doesn't follow any rule. What is meant by that doesn't follow any rule? Let me explain. This is axial plane, this is transverse plane, and this is coronal plane. Any other line that is not parallel to these lines. This is axial, this is oblique. This is transverse, this is oblique. This is coronal, this is oblique. So oblique is not sagittal, not transverse, not coronal. In this model, we've got an example of the oblique cut section as well. Look at here, this area. This area has been cut, not in sagittal, not in transverse, not in oblique, but an angle. We've got an angle. In the oblique cut section, we can comment on three directions, all three directions, but partially. We can comment on front and back, partially. We can comment on superior and inferior. We can comment on medial and lateral. So this is the oblique section. In the end, students, I will again remind you about the anatomical position. Person standing erect, eyes looking at horizon, palm facing forward and feet together. Whenever you get confused, always remember anatomical law, anatomical position. This is the default setting of the anatomy. Anatomy has been written in this position. I have described terms, planes in detail. But first anatomical position, then planes. First anatomical position, then terms. That's all about the today's lecture.